Kabbalah Tree of Life. Base 10 Template Sephiroth. The Kabbalah Tree of Life is a diagram used in various mystical traditions. It usually consists of 10 nodes symbolizing different archetypes, and 22 lines connecting the nodes. The nodes are often arranged into 3 columns to represent that they belong to a common category. Artificial Tree of Life. Thus, Judaism's Kabbalah and the artificial tree of life is based on the inverted teachings intentionally given by the Thothean groups to generate reversals in the knowledge given in the original founder records, and this is overseen and administered by the Yahweh Collective located on Saturn. The Kabbalah esoteric information was brought through in pieces from distorted patriarchal Melchizedek intelligence that had been captured and reverse-engineered through their original knowledge of the universal tree of life and the quantum mechanics that are included in the 12 holographic plates of the Emerald Founder records. The nodes are usually represented as spheres called Sephiroth, and the lines are usually represented as paths. The nodes usually represent encompassing aspects of existence, God, or the human psyche. The lines usually represent the relationship between the concepts ascribed to the spheres, or a symbolic description of the requirements to go from one sphere to another. The nodes are also associated to deities, angels, celestial bodies, values, single colors or combinations of them, and specific numbers. The columns are usually symbolized as pillars. These pillars usually represent different kinds of values, electric charges, or types of ceremonial magic. It is usually referred to as the Kabbalistic tree of life in order to distinguish it from other concepts with the same name. In the Jewish Kabbalah, the nodes representing dimensional spheres are called Sephiroth. The diagram is also used by Christian Kabbalah, Hermetic Kabbalah, and Theosophy. The diagram is believed to be derivable from the flower of life. Kabbalistic experts state the tree represents a series of divine emanations of God's creation itself ex nihilo, out of nothing, the nature of revealed divinity, the human soul, and the spiritual path of ascent by man. In this way, Kabbalists develop the symbol into a full model of reality, using the tree to depict a map of creation. Yahweh Collective. From the guardian perspective, the Sephiroth, meaning emanations, are the 10 attributes of God as described in the Kabbalah Tree of Life, which is a part of the esoteric teaching of Judaism. Judaism's Kabbalah is based on the teachings given by the Yahweh Collective located on Saturn. The Kabbalah brought through pieces of Melchizedek intelligence through the knowledge of the universal tree of life. Due to patriarchal distortions brought through the hidden negative alien invasion, the tree of life was disfigured to 10 spheres, instead of the original mathematical base of 12. The Kabbalah tree of life represents the distorted 10D base code genetic blueprint of the Black Sun regressive lineages. Melchizedek's returning to the earth field at the end of the cycle are attempting to correct and rebuild the distorted tree of life back to its correct formula base 12. Metatronic reversal of the shadow body that is created from this distorted organizational template is called the Black Tree of Life. The 12-tree grid is the base holographic instruction set that corrects the continuing spiritual progression for all manifest forms to achieve ascension through an evolving 12-dimensional body. Imposter Elohim Group. Some of the Elohim groups digressed into the control of the alien hybridization agendas with the invading negative alien agenda groups of Belial entities and Thothean Luciferians, and became integrated with the fallen AI hybridized entities that serve the Luciferian covenant. The Elohim references that are made in the Torah, Talmudic literature, or in the esoteric Kabbalah teachings in the Jewish religion, are sourced from the fallen Elohim hybrids integrated with Belial and Luciferian factions that gave the artificial tree of life or base 10 Math Sephiroth teachings to the Semitic races in the Middle East. This was information warfare in order to confound original angelic human language, to suppress the solar feminine, and replace the original cosmic Christos dragon teachings that were being protected by the remaining Hyperboreans that came to Earth after the Gaian Wars. The remaining Hyperboreans that came to the planet Earth to serve the Christos mission are the Celtic Druid Grail bloodlines or Celtic Essenes. They were hunted down and massacred by these fallen Elohim groups in order for them to act as the impostor overlords of the so-called chosen people, the God of Israelites, and to oversee the seeding and indoctrination of this new Antichrist alien religion. See Celtic massacres/Druid sacrifices. Kabbalistic demonology. The Luciferian sects, the Luciferian Knights Templars, combined their interpretation of Gnostic mysteries with Kabbalistic demonology, to be translated into the opposing path of mystical Catharism in which they could achieve a magical practice or sorcery. Once the Gnostic mysteries were interpreted and then inverted into black magic ritual practices of rigorous debauchery and defilement, nothing was regarded as illicit. Any perverted action that violated others was considered acceptable, and hence established the very nature of their Luciferian cult belief systems and religion, as practiced through the Knights Templar or related secret society. Through the choice of perverted actions intentionally evoking spiritually abusive behaviors during black magic rituals, this allows the lower astral forces to be evoked where the physical vessel of a human being or the group ritualists are open to being possessed or attached to by lower dark spirits. These dark spirits operate in a hierarchy and are interested in power and control. Thus, the more powerful the person is on the earth, the more powerful the negative alien agenda group's representative, or a prince of hell, from the Ars Goetia demons would be to use that human body as a dark portal through which to carry out their agendas. Today, some Satanists actually desire to conjure an Ars Goetia demon for possession of their light body, as they believe it will augment them or give them superhuman powers in which they consider to be an exalted state. It should be fully understood that the state of possession is consciousness slavery, which includes mental bondage and blood covenants to serve demonic hierarchies, as well as soul bindings made to the material reality in time. Black Tree of Life. Metatronic reversals connect to metatronic implants in the shadow body, or negative form, that are designed to reverse and drain life force out of the earth body and the human body. The shadow body or negative form must be cleared from the human light body in order to reconnect the ascending potential of the 12th dimensional template of the human body. This unnatural configuration was built by the negative alien agenda groups via alien machinery that uses artificial intelligence to parasitize the Earth's life force to achieve immortality, and this organized structure is referred to as the Tree of Artificial Life, or the Black Tree of Life. Scrambling DNA language. The Melchizedeks are of the 12 tribes lineages of the Hebrew tribes, who were given the genetic hosting responsibility to assist in the embodiment of the higher DNA language called Hebrew. This language is a genetic code which originated from the cradle of Lyra, in the Avatar Matrix timelines. The Melchizedek lines were attempting to salvage this ancient language of humanity on the earth, which was intrinsic to protecting the memories of the histories of humanity in time codes, also known as vector codes. Upon the Luciferian rebellion, the Melchizedek lines became infiltrated by the Luciferian forces. The primary infiltration was from patriarchal Melchizedeks, who developed a misogynist bent based on the distortions in the Sophianic body. These lines started to lose their connection to the mother principle from the many wars they justified in their beliefs that led them to commit intentional harm to others. This is the fallen Melchizedeks, once a universal unity consciousness. A faction of this Melchizedek consciousness succumbed to the illusion of inequality between the gender principle. This led to a hive mind mentality, which is a group consciousness out of balance with unity. This patriarchal slant distorted the original 12 base code, 12D Ray, into 10 base code. This became the primary root of all control over the patriarchy, the masculine principle, the damage to rod function, the reversal 1010 code was born and brought to earth from this distortion. This greatly impacted the 10th gate known as the Iran gate and the family of Michael, which are a lineage of the blue ray Melchizedeks. Ezekiel's curse of Yahweh. Ezekiel cannot go anywhere until this field is cleaned up in relationship to collective masculine consciousness, especially that which is connected to the Hebrew tribes. Recently, it has been magnified that the bones and graves of prominent people like Ezekiel had been robbed by the negative alien agenda groups. They use the morphogenetic fields of certain key figures that they have picked for religious heroes or other roles that further the Yahweh Jehovian false father god religions on the earth. This is very important in the timeline of body elemental corruption. The sextant matrix is equal to degrading the elementals and to the corruption coded into the mitochondria and DNA as miasmas. The sacred decad. As a mystical symbol, this was very important to the secret worship of the Pythagoreans, which became the basis of many mystical teachings. Kabbalah, Freemasonry and Rosicrucianism have claimed to have evolved out of the Pythagorean Brotherhood. 10 is the all-inclusive structure of the four-dimensional universe, which also represents maintaining the domination and order contained within the structure. Thus, 10 also represents the matrix of that construct which hypnotizes and keeps one locked in the illusion of the third-dimensional world. This ninth stage of the galactic zodiac law, Ophiuchus, is transmitted to the planet in the combination of divine ether and water, or fiery waters, which carry the archetype of the sacred wound healer of humanity's spiritual ascension. These 9 divisions of the magnum opus of alchemical law meet in Ophiuchus, and are 3, 3 times 3, 3 plus the universal prima materia, Azoth, life force which equal 10, 10, the sacred decad of Pythagoras. The Hebrew tetragrammaton, YHWH, 4, and Sephiroth in the Tree of Life are based on the sacred decad or tetractys. This is a triangular figure consisting of 10 points arranged in 4 rows. Qliphoth. The Qliphoth is the negative form shell and slash or imposter spirit negative force of the Sephiroth, sends off the work to the rest of the Qliphoth, gives energy to the Qliphoth, the source of power, and its force as in its miasma, which acts as a generator of the same force. Simply, these are the dead light forces of the shadow self and their spiritual energetic qualities. The adverse Sephiroth or the Qliphoth is the dimensional location that fallen angelics' hierarchies and the satanic and Luciferian forces exist. On the path of ascension, our goal is to face the shadow self and the demons it associates, and to purify our body and consciousness from its control over us. This is why we must not fear these lower forces, but not give our power to them either, as they are tricksters and deceivers. They are also known as the evil demons of matter and the shells of the dead. Because the nature of these forces being from the houses of ego, when studying the Qliphoth which houses the forces of the Antichrist, it is imperative to study moral code, humanitarian-based ethics, and build a strong foundation for the spirits of Christ. This builds a strong energy aura, which builds inner spiritual virtues, which in turn builds spiritual light body strength. If a person is untrained in clearing the houses of ego, to address the anti-life forces without spiritual clarity or discernment of these forces, can harm more than help. Being able to contact these dark forces are not for the spiritual neophyte. Satanic possession, addiction, attachments and insanity of a weak mind and weak body can be the result.